Hello everyone, this is Judith with another video. Yeah, and today it's all about how your twin flame is recognizing you, right? How is this happening? I mean, in the beginning, obviously, you recognized each other for one reason or another. So there you were in a place where you instantly, your energies matched. Probably you were in a good place when you met your twin flame. You were at one with you and the things that you were doing, right? You were maybe even like asking for a mate, for a soulmate, for a partner, a divine partner. You were like maybe in a good place when it comes to work, or you were asking for healing. So you were sending out some kind of request to the universe, or being in sync with who you truly are, right? Your divine essence. You were either claiming that essence or just being in that essence, but probably you did not really know why you were there. And this is also videos about boundaries, because there are many aspects in relation to this. So I want to point out a little bit how this works in terms of boundaries. Because then in a next step, you were probably like losing all of this because you did not know how to be there deliberately and more stable, right? To maintain that stability. That's all about, for us, it's all about ascending to a higher vibration and then being able to maintain it, right? So when we're down here, then our union is usually higher up, and we want to ascend to that place and match that energy, and that's how we attract it. That's why we can never like go there by well, ascending and working on the energy can be hard work as well, right? But it doesn't feel like hard work. So but you cannot just force it, right? It has to come to you. You can only work on your field. And so that's what we want to do in many regards, but also when it comes to boundaries. Because what are boundaries really? It's about energetic boundaries, about maintaining your pureness, right, in your field, and leaving everyone's energy to themselves, right, to other people. And why do we want to do this? First of all, of course, it feels better, and the benefit is that your twin flame will recognize you on an energetic level, and then that's what is drawing the two of you together. And that's not only for your twin, that's all the same as for you, right? You will be drawn to him by seeing his energy, by recognizing his energy or her energy. Yeah, and that's why it is so important to, it's also because those other energies are heavy. They're like keeping you stuck in lower levels. So there's a lot to say around this. But what I want to bring to your awareness is that clear boundaries contribute to your signal, your unique signal, the signal of your true essence, to be translated by other people, not only by your twin flame. This is then how things that you really want at the core are coming into your life, because other people can suddenly see you. It's as if a veil was lifted or something, right? I see it more also as darkness, like clouding the light. And then this needs to go out. So it's as if this is a bubble, right? And this bubble needs to be squeaky clean and bright and shiny and shining out the light so that others can see that, so that others can translate that and then see if they are a match or not. And of course, a lot of people will also be triggered by your light. And this is when it's really important then to have those boundaries and to keep those energies out, really. And it's not by pushing, but it really is, first of all, by owning yourself, by owning your light, by being in your essence. And it's by giving the energies that are not yours back to those people. And it's also by, your energy is sometimes also drained. So you might be very bright and then other people come in and hook on to your energy and just siphon it. So that's happening quite often, right? Because usually we are empaths. We are very sensitive to other people's needs, and then we are open to giving to them, because that's what I believe everyone is about, right? We all want to make a difference in the world when we come here, whether we remember this or not, but really we love to give. It's not about not giving, but we don't want to be empty afterwards. So we want to be able to always draw in our life force, our divine energy, right, from source, and always be full of life force, always be hooked into this divine energy, always be plugged in, so to speak. And then we're always full, right? And we can give, and we do not want to allow other people to drain us. So first step is to find that plug, right, where we want to plug in. And while we are in the process of learning that, we do not want to allow other people to drain our energy, right? And so one thing that I do, you've heard me say this before, is that I ask Archangel Michael to cut the negative cords between me and other people. Right, we can do this together now, so I can show you a little bit. For those of you who don't know, we settle in, right? We connect to Archangel Michael. We ask him to come in, and we ask Archangel Michael, please cut the negative cords between me and other people. Please cut the cords between the people watching now or later and people in their lives. The negative cords, and call back the energy that we have given away to other people throughout all space, time, and dimension. Help this whole thing to shift out of polarity. We lovingly leave other people to their choices, and we keep choosing love. Please clear what's in the way for us to always choose love. Thank you. So that's my little piece that I want to give to you. And you can repeat this. Please know that negative cords are always meant to be cut. They're not cutting any cords that feel like life-giving or loving or whatever. So don't be afraid. And in any case, this is only working if the souls agree. So you don't have to be afraid if there is anything happening. That's why we give it to Archangel Michael. He knows best, right? He would not do anything that is not in your highest good. That's also important to know. So you can give yourself over to this little piece, and that is something that I used to do it every day, sometimes several times a day, and now it depends, but I do it on a regular basis, really. And this keeps something that is keeping my energy clean, right? Because those cords, they are like, but they are re-established by thoughts and other people shooting things at us. So that's something that is very important. If you want to clear your energy more fully, you could choose to click on the webinar link that I've created, a free webinar, some content. You find some interesting content, and there's also a piece for a daily energy clearing that you could do. So you can choose to get that, and you also find my offers in the description box. There is a link there for you if you want to work with me, right? Yeah, so the boundaries are so important, because what happens when we have those cords, one thing, for example, that is happening, to give you an example how it feels, is that we feel other people's feelings. And so people are projecting all kinds of things onto us. And especially when it comes to intense feelings that they don't want to feel on a subconscious level, right? They're just projecting it. And then we are here like with our open field, no boundaries to be found whatsoever, and we're just taking on that stuff, right? So you can feel that sometimes, maybe when you're kind of reacting to someone, right? For example, someone accusing you, and you all of a sudden being very upset and maybe afraid, and wanting to justify yourself. That's clearly a signal that the other one has projected something onto you, and you're just taking the ball, right? It's like a game. Someone throwing the ball, and you, okay, I take that. Don't take it, right? Of course, if you have a reaction, so this means you have an issue here, you need to do the inner work. But that's exactly what a boundary is. After you have resolved the issue, you would not react to that anymore. So it's not sufficient to say, okay, I'm not going to react, I'm putting a helmet all over me and I'm numb, I'm not sensitive to anything. That's not what it is. You notice that there is something coming up, an issue. So this means you have a reaction to someone. And then you want to clear that, you want to work on that. And please remember that the issues are multifaceted, so there might be more than one aspect to a block. And after the block is cleared, then you would no longer have a reaction, or when something comes at you, you can easily keep up your boundaries, say that's not for me, that's not for me. And even while you have maybe not cleared your issue, your block fully, you could still get some relief from cutting the cords and leaving it to the other person, just by knowing this is not for me. Sometimes we also let in feelings that have nothing to do with us whatsoever. It's very often with things that come from our twin flame as well. We also need boundaries there, right? Because they have to deal with their issues. So we need to give this back to them whenever we feel that something is coming at us. It's very important. Yeah, so always remember, right, that you yourself want to find this center, this essence of who you truly are, and you want to connect with how this feels like, what this feels like, what this is, how this is vibrating, the frequency, the specific melody, or however you want to put it. That's who you truly are, and you have to liberate that, so to speak, and to keep it clean for others to see you, and also for you to really feel good, and to really feel at home with yourself, and also to feel safe. Yeah, of course, there's much more to say about this. If you have any questions or any remarks, put them in the description box. For sure, this will not be the last time that I'm talking about this. That there's always more to talk about, and this is meant to support you along the journey, and we will always revolve around how to move on in the right direction, what the critical things, the crucial things that you need to resolve, so that you really get a good idea around what is important on the twin flame journey. So yeah, that's it for today. I wish you a really beautiful day. Take care, everyone, and I see you in the next video. Bye for now. Bye.